Hello everyone and welcome to episode 21 of the Sunflower Girl podcast. So I'm Rachel. You can find me on Instagram as the Sunflower GRL, girl without the I, and on Ravelry as the Sunflower Girl. There is a group for this podcast. It can be found on Ravelry. If you search in the groups tab, just search the Sunflower Girl podcast. It's right there. I'd really love it if you came and joined. So yes, it's been a week since last episode, so that's exciting. It's such a hot day today. I've literally just come back from the coffee shop. We just went and had a coffee. Bit of a bad move because it's so warm. I just got some water. So yes, I guess we'll just jump right into works in progress. So the first work in progress, living in my lovely Star Wars bag, is Dave's socks, which is quite exciting because I have a half-finished object. So the first sock is officially finished and it is huge. I love knitting Dave's socks and then knitting me socks because my socks seem to just fly because they're so much smaller. Yep. I really love how the toe turned out. Well, it's like the heel, but he really likes the way that the pattern worked up, and it is quite cool, and I like the fact that it continued right the way down the sock. And yeah, so no second sock syndrome here because the second sock has been cast on. And I worked on this when we went to the cinema the other day, and I actually did ribbing. I didn't do all of it, I'd done some of it, but I just desperately wanted to tape these because I didn't have any other sort of socks to take, so I took these and I did a bit of ribbing in the cinema and then knit down the foot because we went to see Wonder Woman again, so it was a bit like, oh, I've seen it, so I guess I didn't need to, like, I didn't have any issue and I wasn't like constantly looking down, but if it was the first time seeing a movie I probably wouldn't have, just in case. So I've done about an inch on the foot, on the leg, so that's going quite nicely. Yeah, really enjoying them, and they are going to match up quite nice. That's one thing I like about this patterning, it is going to sort of match quite well. So yeah, that is in King Cole Zigzag. I always forget to show these if I have them in the Majestic colourway because I have a terrible habit of losing them or throwing them away, like, because I need a system to sort of store them somewhere, but I just never get around to sorting it, so they just get sort of left about and then they'll end up just getting thrown away. So that's the first work in progress. The second work in progress is in this lovely bag, and this too is exciting because I have a second half finished object. The ends aren't woven in, but that's just because I like to knit both my socks and then weave the ends in and block them at the same time, just together. And it's just a little pair of shorty socks, and the rib, because it's just a short rib, because I did just want a little short pair, I only did 5 rows on the ribbing. So, and then I did, because I did a stretchy bind off, it does flare out, but when I put them on it sits fine, and they obviously haven't been blocked yet, so that will probably help. But I just think they're really cute, the white and the heel. And these are my first ever toe-up socks, and I love them. And this is in just some leftover yarn that I'd made my cousin a pair of socks out of. I don't have the ball band anymore, but it is this sort of, I think it was King Cole zigzag, again just like that, and it was in the bilberry colourway. I remembered because it's quite a weird name. And yeah, this is all I've got left, but that should be plenty to make the second sock with my contrast heel. So again, no second sock syndrome, because I have a little sock beard. So yeah, I have finished the toe increases, and now it's just straight round, but I just wanted to get the toe finished because we're going to the cinema again tomorrow, and I just thought this would be perfect to take to knit on in the cinema. And then I have, this is what I'm using for the heel and the cuff. It is King Cole zigzag again, and it is just shade 753. It's just a white cream kind of colour, which I just think looks so nice. It makes them look really pretty. This strap. So yeah, that's quite nice. And again, because I'm doing toe up, I have my little foot. Don't realise quite how wide. I have quite small feet, but they're very wide, quite flat. So yeah, I think I need to get a better bit of cardboard. Yeah, that's knitted along nicely. Everything smells like vanilla because I have this cute little owl, and it smells like vanilla. I got these for a birthday present, I think, or Christmas a few years ago, and I had, I think, 4 of them, and obviously I have one, maybe it was 3. I have one in my wardrobe, one in one of my drawers, and then one in this project bag. So everything smells very lovely. So yeah, I can't remember if I'd done the heel last week. I might have. I'm not sure. It's been quite warm here, so knitting hasn't really been sort of top on the list because it's just been so warm. So the next work in progress is the trusty Granny Square, the Cozy Memories blanket. Getting ahead of myself, and I think I've made a decent amount of progress. Last week I was halfway through this square, so I've knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. Oh gosh, I need to tighten that strap up when I finish recording. So yeah, 7 squares, but unfortunately I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 balls left of scrap / minis. So this is probably going to, well, it's getting a bit warm now anyway, so it probably wouldn't get as much love as I would hope, but it's definitely going to stop because I'm going to put a couple up here, but the ones I have left are quite a lot of browns, and I don't want lots of browns together, so I'll just see how it goes and put what I can in, but then it'll probably have to wait until I get some more minis or scraps, like finish some things. But yeah, I'm loving it. I was hoping to get quite a bit of progress done on this, but yeah, and unfortunately ends have been a bit neglected. Usually I weave all my ends in after every square, but just recently I just haven't been bothered. So that unfortunately is all, and because my squares are so small, it's not too big either, but I'm still really loving it. I love the size of these squares because it means I can get pretty much the tiniest little scrap out of it, like the tiniest little scrap that I have left will usually make a square. Yes, still loving it, and I know it is going to take quite a while to finish because the squares are so small, but then it just means more extra special yarn gets to go into it. So yes, quite a bit of progress I think from last time, so yeah. And this is obviously living in the Batman bag that my cousin made. He sewed it for me out of one of his old vest tops, which is really cute, and it's a decent size, and then I could just sort of have it. And then the last knitting work in progress is living in this lovely little box that was lovely. It was sent to me by a viewer, so thank you so much. And I don't think I showed this last time because I haven't been working on it loads, but I've been adding a few bits, and I've now got some stripes going, so I thought I'd show it. So this is the Smoky Earl Grey, which is a free, oh sorry, I just left my needles out of my bag. I'm just going to pop those in before I lose them. It's the Smoky Earl Grey pattern on Ravelry. It is a free pattern, and it's just for a sort of kind of cropped-ish jumper with long sleeves, but I think I'm just going to do 3/4. I thought it'd just be nice, sort of autumn throw-on kind of thing, but I'm just really wanting to knit all the jumpers, but it's just far too hot. Unfortunately it's a bit hard to show because it's on ridiculously small needles, because they're the only ones I have at the moment, and I just haven't got around to picking up any more. And what I'm doing is I'm striping it, so it's knit from the bottom up. So you knit up to the armholes, split off, and do the front and the back, and then you work the sleeves. So I'm doing this sort of reddish burgundy and grey stripes. So I'm doing 4 rows grey, 6 rows burgundy, because I have only 100 grams of the grey, but I have 200 grams of the burgundy red, and it should be enough, but I am planning on doing 3/4 length sleeves rather than the full sleeves anyway, so that should help. But I'm thinking once I get to the armholes anyway and I split off, I'm just going to do the burgundy red for that, and then so about here, and then with the sleeves I'll have a red block and then the striping. So yeah, I've done a little bit. I'll just try and show you. This is just something I sort of pick up, knit a little bit on and then put it down, but I'm really loving it. And I've got my little clicker which is telling me how many rows I've done, which is nice. But yeah, I'm in no rush to sort of get this finished because it's far too hot to wear it now anyway, but I do really want to be making a lot more garments. because I just love hand knit jumpers, and this is knit just out of acrylic, because just unfortunately I don't have the budget for any other yarn. So yeah, I'm really loving it, and I think it's just going to be really cute. So yeah, that's the last of the knitted works in progress. I just love this. It's really good because you just pop it down, and it's a yarn bowl as well, and it keeps everything in neat and tidy. I've got 4 balls of yarn in it, but I could easily fit more. And it's got the little pockets which has my needle gauge, and then some different size needles that I'll be needing later. But I do need to pick up, I think these are a 4.5mm needle. I do need to pick up a longer cable one, but at the moment it's doing fine on here. Once I split off for the sleeves anyway, it'll be easier with the short needle to navigate what I'm doing. But yeah, loving that. That's as I said, all the knitted works in progress. So if you've been watching before, you will know I have one crochet work in progress, and it is my granny stripe blanket. And again, because it's now so warm, this probably won't be getting too much love in the near future, which is a shame because it's just so big. And because it's obviously the entire length that the blanket is going to, the entire width that the blanket is going to be, is sort of dragging it across my lap. But I have added, see if I can, there we go, a little bit. I think last time I was doing this, and I've added a little bit, so just added some little bits. But yeah, it's coming along nicely, and I have quite a few, because I've been doing quite a bit of work on my Cozy Memories. Every time I knit a square on the Cozy Memories blanket, the scraps then go into this basket, which is getting far too big for this blanket. I think I want to get a really lovely like wicker basket to store it in, and then once it's finished I can store all my handmade blankets in the wicker basket anyway, and just have it like at the end of the bed or something like that. But yeah, all of them live in here, and then I just put my scraps in. And obviously got quite a few bigger ones, and obviously didn't finish that colour because there's just a lot more, and I didn't want a huge block of just one colour. So what my plan is, if I get quite a few of these out of like the larger cakes, I will send them on to someone else, maybe in a swap or just a parcel. So yeah, at the moment I have to fold it like this and then fold it in half to put into the blanket. And I have misplaced my crochet hook. It's probably around. As soon as I stand up I'll probably find it. But yes, so it's actually just a bit awkward like this. But when I purchase, oh, I found it. It was on my notebook. Once I purchase a bigger basket for this project, I want to use this little basket for my hand knit socks. I think I mentioned that last week, just so that there's somewhere for them to go. I plan on making lots of more hand knitted socks. So that's all the works in progress. Unfortunately, there's no finished objects this week, which I think is actually the first time on the podcast that I haven't had a finished object. which is quite nice because I don't knit incredibly fast. I'm not one of those people that always has finished objects like every week. It's just that most podcasts that I've been doing, I hadn't been doing it regularly, so it would be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks between each podcast, so then there was more likely to be a finished object. But now that I've sort of got myself into the schedule of recording on every Monday and uploading every Monday, which because that is the day I have off work guaranteed, there probably won't be as many finished objects as usual, and because of the weather being so warm anyway, I probably won't be knitting as much anyway because of it being so warm. So today we're just going to move straight into some chatter. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is books again. So I'm still reading Harry Potter. I finished the Goblet of Fire last night, so now I'm on to Order of the Phoenix, and that's going along nicely. I just sort of listen to it when I'm doing a bit of knitting or just before bed. Yeah, I'm trying to do a bit more reading because obviously I have my Goodread challenge, which I'm not doing too. I think I'm about eight books behind schedule, so not doing so great there. But yeah, what are you guys reading? Have you got any book suggestions? Just let me know. Pop a comment in the episode thread. The second thing is I'm thinking of doing like little vlogs and extra videos, just out and about, especially now the weather's quite nice, because if you're a regular viewer you will know that Dave and I like to go to the cinema quite a lot, and it's just something we always walk up there nice, and I was just thinking we could do a bit of that, and maybe we sort of review the film afterwards because he's a big film fan. So let me know your opinions on that. Which we did record a little sort of walk to the cinema last week, and I'm hoping to just insert it at the end of this video. It probably won't be very long, just a little clip of us walking to the cinema and getting our tickets and things like that. But then I'm not sure whether to put it at the end of the episode, so do one a week and put them at the end of the episodes, or to create a separate playlist and just do like a little Dave came up with a name. I think it was something like the Sunflower Seas, so like out and about, and whether you would prefer that as a separate playlist so that if you are interested you can go and watch the playlist, or to stick it at the end of this episode, like at the end of each episode. So what I'm going to do for this week, hopefully, I will put it at the end of the episode. You can watch it if you like, if not, that's completely fine. And then if you let me know which you prefer, and if not, then I will just sort of decide which I think's best. Because I just think it would be quite fun to do just a little bit more fun things, like yeah, because it's quite nice. Like I know quite a few other podcasters do it, and I do really enjoy them, and I would like to do sort of like a little movie, because I know people like Inside Number 23, Katie does obviously her little thing with her husband, and I just really like that, and Dave's really into films, so I thought, well, why not, you know. And we obviously both have unlimited cards, so we're always seeing new movies. But then I'm not sure whether it's something everyone will be interested in, so it might be best just to make a separate video playlist for it. Yeah, let me know, and we'll just see how it goes. And so yeah, as I said, because we did a little recording, we went to see Gifted last week, which was really good. We went to the unlimited screening, so we saw it before it had officially been released. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about it in case you haven't seen it, but it is such a good film. So it is Chris Evans, and it is about obviously a young girl who is gifted. She's very smart, intelligent, and it's just about that. And yeah, definitely go and see it. It was amazing. And we are going again to the cinema tomorrow for another unlimited screening, and that is for Baby Driver, which is about a man who has tinnitus, I'm not quite sure how you say it, and so he listens to music quite a lot to sort of dull the ringing in his ears, but he's also a driver. I'm not 100% sure exactly what is going on in there, but that's the gist of the story anyway, so we're going to go and see that. So if you're interested, maybe we could do a little video of what we thought of it, and you can so it is 10:37 at night. I just came to edit the podcast and found out that the camera had cut off right at the end of the video. I'm not sure if it was the memory card was full or the battery, but just the end was missing, and we'd been out all day, so I was getting around to editing it quite late anyway, but unfortunately it just cut off like mid-sentence, and I didn't want to just leave it because it would just be a bit awkward, but I was just basically saying that I'm going to put a little vlog in, and we're going to hopefully be able to record another one tomorrow, and you should, let me know if you would like to see that at the end of the podcasts like this one, or if you'd prefer me to do it as a separate playlist. And yes, I am in my pyjamas. It's been a bit of a long day. We went out and went and saw some friends at the park because it's been really sunny, and I'm just really tired. So thank you so much for watching, and I apologise for the lighting and the awkward cut off of the other episode, and the fact that I am now in my pyjamas, and there's probably terrible noise outside as well. And I will hopefully be recording next week, which will hopefully all be there. I hope you have a lovely week and lots of knitting time, and I hope the weather's nice if that's what you like. So I'll see you next week. Bye. You gotta look at the camera. Hey, we're just going to see a movie. What we're going to see? Ha 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 ha. What we're going to see?
Yeah.
Gifted. We're going to see Gifted. I fell in the bushes. We're gonna get some snacks.
Snacky.
What are you gonna get?
Sweets.
Oh, God. Some chocolate buttons. Hey,
And I won. What are they called? Squashies?
squishies.
Squashies,
I can't
squishies.
eat squishies. I'm gonna get some probably chocolate buttons and some cake.
you.